Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video, like the title and the thumbnail says, we're going to be working with Crimp Tubes. They come in this package with 4 jars. I have the one we're going to be using in the back here. And what are Crimp Tubes? Right here. So they are to make a necklace. So you swing around the cord here, put the tube, clamp it down, crimp it, and you're ready to go. Look at this. Big shout out to Mr. Quality Never, Mr. Poochman from Poochman Productions. Poochman has been on YouTube for a long time, longer than me, and I've been here for a long time. And it's refreshing, and I like when I learn something new. So that's why I'm doing this video. Back in the old days, one of the methods we used to use was with these beads. You would take them, and you're using your original axle. You left the head on one side, and then on the other you use the beads and you glue it down, and that's how you created your axle. Safe to say that these things, even though they're tiny, they are humongous compared to the original side of the head on the axle. Now this new method that I just learned, for that we're going to be using brass rods right here. Brass rods are 0.032 inch, and I find that they are a little bit thicker than an original Hot Wheels axle. So I'm guessing a Hot Wheels axle is between 0.030 to 0.032. They use different sizes depending on the car. Usually if the car has bigger wheels, they use a thicker axle. Now I use Gorilla Glue. I use my Dremel, this disc, and I basically just go around the corner, the edge here. That way it'll make it easier to install this tube or rod inside the tube. Let's do a little bit of glue here. I need new glue. It's hard to come out. You gotta shake it. Let me see. There you go. Little tub. And the tube has been here all time. You haven't seen it. There it is. It's been in your face this whole time. Make sure you're working on a solid surface. It's in. And then I have this other ply here. I'm gonna lightly tap it. Inspect it. You see that the rod went all the way, and it's wedged in there with the glue. If you're not sure, you could tap it a little bit more, but it should be good. here I have an original real rider. Look at this. Ooh, baby. Tell me that doesn't look good. It looks good. It looks elegant. And it looks a heck of a lot better than using the old beads. Now, on the video that he did, he uses this what looks like a nail clipper, which I also got, but it's actually to cut fishing line. Now here is the difference between a nail clipper and this. Nail clipper has a rounded edge, this one flat. Now I'm going to show you why this is important to me. If you're working with a car that has a metal base and you had to create your own axle, pretty much know that creating your axles using the tubes was kind of a pain, because you have to enlarge this groove here to be able to fit the tube. Now with this method, you don't have to do that. You already have one side done. You install it, right? Well, this thing doesn't fit here. Let me do it in the back. There you go. This wheel is too big for this chassis. This is just an experiment. Now we have the other one. Now notice that the front is deep, so you can either mark it with a Sharpie, or you could do this. You put it on backwards. You push this side, make sure it's in there. And you can see that's almost perfect, but let's say that it was sticking out more. Let me use another one. Let me use another axle here so I could show you. Let's use this one. This one doesn't have the crimp tool on that side, but it'll work for the experiment here. So you have that here. Let's imagine we have a crimp tool on this side. You put this side backwards. Right, let's just push this side in. And now you have to get rid of all that. Well, with this, since it has a flat edge, you come in here, you cut it. If you try to do that with a nail clipper, you can see it's going to be a little bit harder. You might damage the rim or something. This having a flat edge, it's a lot simpler. And now you just got rid of that problem of having to enlarge the groove here for metal bases. Now on this type of wheel here, this little crimp tool works perfectly, because in the center it has a little hole which helps to cover it, as you can see here, and it's somewhat looks original, especially if you're not really looking at it. Here I have these other set that I already did. You can see I use an original axle on one side, and on the other, check it out. Now there's two ways to go about this. You can use your Dremel and write this, write it down to make it thinner, make it look more like an original head, which I'm probably gonna start doing in the future. Or if you have one of these manual drills, it comes with all these drill bits. You use the 1.2 millimeter size, and you open up the hole on this side just deep enough so the crimp tube sits in there. See, on this side I could have gone deeper, but I'm happy right here where it is. And like I said, in the future I'll just probably grind down this whole thing. That way I don't have to use this other method. And with this method, you have a lot of more possibilities. You remember the time I created red line axles, or I tried for that first red line that I restored, that I wanted to have the suspension, but I wanted to use new wheels, which I did not end up using. Well, I think with the crimp tools, if you have an original axle and the little head broke and you do have the bearing, you can fix it with one of these, and you could save that axle, which they are very, very hard to find. And hope you like this video. Hope you learned something like I did. Thanks again to the Pooch Man for doing his video. Allowed me to learn a new method of creating axles. And that's gonna be it for today, guys. Let me see if I could take a picture here. Like this. Oh, you still watching? Incredible.